Dirtle Magic. Thank you for tuning in to Dirtle Magic. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like the content you see here today, and leave a like and share the video with someone you might think is interested. Leaving those likes really helps us out, but another way to help us out is by using our TCG Player affiliate link below. If you're looking for singles, sealed product, or gaming accessories, please consider using our link to support the channel. We also have some playmats at inkgaming.com. Go ahead and hit the link in the description to check those out. Alright, let's grab some spells and dirtle with some magic. Hello and welcome back to Dirtle Magic. Today we're playing some Niv-Mizzet Reborn. This is a personal paper deck of mine. It's almost card for card. Looking at our opening hand though, that's terrible, so we will mulligan. New hand. We do have 2 lands and a way to get a 3rd land. I think we can keep this one, shouldn't be too bad here. Our commander, Wooburg for legendary 6/6 Dragon Avatar Flying. When enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each color pair, choose a card that's exactly those colors from among them. Put the chosen cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. We have a Leyline of Anticipation out of one of our opponents, who is Lonis Cryptozoologist. To our turn, it gives us the Death Sprout. Let's go ahead, do Evolving Wilds, and crack it. Let's get a Swamp, and we'll pass it off. Our first opponent is Lonis Cryptozoologist, green-blue for legendary 1/2 Snake Elf Scout. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, investigate, tap, sacrifice X clues. Target opponent reveals the top X cards of the library. You may put a non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield under your control. That player puts the rest on the bottom of the library in a random order. They have a Forest come into play. Our next opponent with a Caves of Koilos into play is Queen Marchesa, Long May She Reign. 1 red, white, black for legendary 3/3 human assassin, Death Touch, and Haste. When she enters the battlefield, you get the hat. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent is the Monarch, create a 1/1 black assassin creature token with Death Touch and Haste. Our next opponent with Temple of Mystery into play is Chilean Teller of Tales. 2 green, white, blue for legendary 2/4 human druid. Vigilance, whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card, then you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. 3 tap, return target creature you control to its owner's hand. Our turn gives us Leyline Prowler. Let's get down to Forest, and let's go ahead and basic land cycle. Looks like we're going to need some red, so let's get a mountain, and we'll pass it off there. So my version of Niv-Mizzet is entirely gold cards except for 1 other card and the basic lands, and each of them are the color pairings. So one thing I've been trying to achieve with this deck is getting what I call the Guild Pact achievement, where you get the 10 cards and they're all different guilds. The 2 color pairings, as it were. I've gotten up to 9, but this is the deck I like to pull out if I just kind of don't care about whatever's happening, because it has a number of effects. I like to call this deck Group Shrug. Lonis' turn sees Lonis come down after a Boreal Druid. Mox Diamond also coming down for them. So I have been trying to record a number of games, and the week's been a little bit hectic. I did put casual. I don't know if Mox Diamond kind of counts as casual, but we'll see how the game goes. Clue token for the Lonis player. Over to Queen Marchesa, we have Orzhov Signet coming down. Chilean's turn sees nothing but an island come into play. Rolling on over to us. Duskwatch Recruiter will be able to transform. We get an island. That works out. Let's go ahead and play it. And let's get down the Leyline Prowler. And we'll pass it off there. Death Touch Lifelink, plus it's a mana dork for any color we need. Lonis' turn sees Academy Manufactor, and unfortunately, one of our opponents quits the game. Too bad. Over to the Queen Marchesa player's turn. We have a Plains into play. Will we see the Queen? We do in fact do so. When she enters the battlefield, they get the hat. To our turn, we get Trigon Predator. That's going to be good later. Let's play Mountain. And I think I want to destroy the Academy Manufactor. So let's go ahead and do that. Black out of the Leyline Prowler, green, black, blue, and Death Sprout. Or as I like to call it, Rampant Murder. And let's get a Plains. And we'll pass it off there. End of turn, we have a Mystical Tutor out of Lonis. We have Green Sun Zenith. Yeah, that could be pretty good. Not too worried about it, but it is a tutor for a creature, and you know how green does with its creatures. Although specifically the blue ones might be more dangerous at the moment. Lonis' turn sees a Green Sun Zenith for 3. It's Elvish Harbinger. They'll get a clue token and be able to search the library for an elf card. Okay, interesting. Wonder what they'll get with that. They get Priest of Titania. So it could be like an elf tribalish deck, looks like. Don't know what they're going to do. They do have 0 cards in hand. They haven't gotten any card draw. They do have clues, though, they can sacrifice for card draw. To Queen Marchesa's turn, swamp into play, 7 cards in hand otherwise, and they'd still have the hat. It's Flame Shadow Conjuring coming down for them. To our turn, we get Ash Barrens. I don't think we really need to do any more color fixing right now. Let's go ahead and just play it as a land. Let's get down Linvala, and then I think I want to get rid of that Flame Shadow Conjuring. Rip apart to the stack. And it's good. Let's pass it off. To Lonis' turn, Kralin Horde Howler will transform back into a human. Priest of Titania coming down for Lonis. They get a clue. Clue being sacrificed, Lonis will draw a card. That's it for the Lonis player. Over to the Queen. We have Knight Captain of Eos. They'll get 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. They can also sacrifice one of them to use a fog effect. To our turn, we have Saval Explorer return. Don't know that I want to play her just yet, though. I think what I want to do is play Escaped to the Wilds. Okay, we get Cindervine's Evil Twin, a mountain. Let's go ahead and play that for the turn. Fevered Visions and Pernicious Deed. Let's go ahead and play the Cindervines. I think that'll be fun. And we'll pass it off there. End of turn, we have a clue sacrifice. Lonis' turn sees Llanowar Elves come into play. A clue token gets sacrificed again for Lonis. We have Nezahal Primal Tide coming down. I was wondering when the big guns were going to come out for Lonis. That is unfortunate, though. Over to the Queen's turn. They're already tapping down some mana after a land drop. Let's see what it is. It's Boros Signet. We have a couple of triggers to the stack. Cindervines and Nezahal will trigger for the first time this game. It's Felidar Guardian coming down for Queen Marchesa. That's a good way to get the Monarchy back. I imagine they're going to blink the Knight Captain to get some more tokens to the battlefield. Yep. To our turn, we get a Forest. Let's play it. Okay, so we could Evil Twin here and do Nezahal and then Pernicious Deed for 5, but we don't have enough mana to do both. And Nezahal would just kind of stay there, and our guys would actually die, although I could sacrifice Linvala to save the Leyline Prowler. I do want to start getting rid of Marchesa's board state. The board states are larger than us, so that keeps me a little bit worried. Let's play Pernicious Deed. Nezahal will trigger again. They'll get to draw a card. And then we will go ahead and blow the Pernicious Deed, because why not? We will hold priority and activate Linvala by sacrificing her. Knight Captain of Eos is preventing combat damage dealt this turn. We'll give our creature indestructible. And we wipe the board of everything except the Leyline Prowler and Nezahal. Unfortunately for us, we cannot take the Monarchy. Let's go ahead and pass it off. To Lonis' turn, we see an island into play. 3 cards in hand otherwise. They could resummon their commander. Luckily for us, we did put them a little bit on the back foot. Nezahal hasn't helped them recover too much just yet. Lonis coming down for that player. Lonis not attacking into the Monarchy. That's interesting. To Marchesa's turn, another plane's into play. Will they resummon their commander? They do not. It is a sad robot. Getting a little bit more ramp going. I imagine they'll be getting a red source. You know, mountain. There it is. To our turn, we get Havengul Lich. Could be good. I think at this point, though, I want to get down Niv-Mizzet and Selvala. So let's go ahead and do the things. And let's cast our commander for the first time this game. Niv-Mizzet Reborn. It enters the battlefield. We get to reveal the top 10. Okay, so we have to pick between Camball and Utter End. I think at this point we'll keep Camball. I don't know that we'll need Utter End, and we get to draw just about everything else. Let's pass it off. You will notice that Gigantha is in here. I don't believe in the companion mechanic. I think it's a mistake. So Gigantha resides in the 99 of the deck rather than as a companion. We also got Lorehold Command. This has been trying it out in the deck. I don't know that I'm going to keep it. It seems to be a bit slow even at instant speed for this deck, so I'm probably going to end up replacing it at some point. We do have to discard a card. I think it will be Lorehold Command, because as I was saying, I've been testing it out. It doesn't seem to jive too well with the deck. Over to Lonis, they're tapping down some mana. It's Naiad of Hidden Coves. As long as it's not your turn, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Again, no combats out of Lonis. Alright. Over to the Queen, Swamp into play. We have Dreadbore. It's going after Niv-Mizzet, that's fine. Niv-Mizzet often dies, that just means we get more card draw out of it. We have Slot coming for countering the spell. Okay. Well, yeah, I can live with that outcome too. Not a problem for me. And it's Utter End targeting Savall the Explorer. I'm also okay with that outcome. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this deck is kind of one I use when I don't particularly care what's going on, although I am trying to win, make no mistake. Niv-Mizzet is being exiled. They are discarding 3 cards. Utter End is going after Savall, though, so I don't know quite what's happening there. That's it for the Queen. Niv-Mizzet will come back, and of course, the Queen still retains the Monarchy. Our turn gives us Fracture. Oh, and Queen Marchesa quits the game. Why? I'll check the chat. No particular reason. That's unfortunate. Okay, so Kemball not going to be as good against Lonis. It seems to be very creature-based. So let's just go ahead, cement our position, and start attacking. Gerard, whether like hero, just in case of board wipes, although green and blue is generally not about that. And then let's try to bait out some removal with Gigantha. Let's go to attacks and swing Nivi. Damage is good. They're up to 6 commander, down to 34. Let's pass it off. Oh, somehow we got the hat. We get Thief of Sanity. The Lonis player is not happy that the Queen Marchesa player left. Elvish Mystic into play for them. Alchemist Refuge comes down. Mystic Remora. That's going to be pretty good. Although I do run a lot of creatures in the deck. To our turn, we get Coiling Oracle. Okay, let's go ahead and tap Gigantha for Wooburg. It cannot be used for generic cost, though, as you see. We'll cast Kemball. And Coiling Oracle. We get Luxury Suite into play tapped. I was starting to wonder where all those were. I do have all 10 in the deck. And then we'll play Thief of Sanity. Let's go to attacks. Let's attack with Niv-Mizzet alone. Should be sufficient. Damage is good, up to 12 commander, down to 28. Let's pass it off. End of the turn, we get Undergrowth Stadium. To Lonis' turn, Mystic Remora will trigger for its upkeep cost. Let's see if they pay it. They do not. It goes to the graveyard. Siren Stormtamer coming down. At the end of turn, let's go ahead and try Golgari Charm. I do want to get rid of the flyer, so all creatures will get -1/-1 till end of turn. Unfortunately, that will kill the Coiling Oracle, but meh. Niv-Mizzet will trigger. Alright, the flyer goes down. That's fine with me. To our turn, we see Find and Finality. And they give it up. Good game to our opponents, although I wish our first opponent hadn't quit so early into the game. I think they were having some trouble with getting anything besides lands, though. Let's go ahead and give it to the Lonis player. Thanks for staying in it. And there it is. 3 votes for the Lonis player, 1 vote for us, 1 vote for the Queen Marchesa player. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. Alright, here is the deck. All gold cards, except for this Chromatic Lantern. And I do want to say that it is almost card for card. Some of the lands are different, and Prime Speaker Zagana is no longer in the deck. It is now also a Lonis, Cryptozoologist. Figured that'd be a little bit more interesting. There's also some other upgrades like General Pharos Rockerick I like in the deck because everything we cast comes with a 4/4 Golem attached, which is pretty nifty. Overlooking the deck, the main theme of this deck is kind of just getting to do whatever we want, kind of helping people in a group hug kind of deal where we get to draw extra cards. Specifically Stormfist Crusader. Not too many people use that. I rather like it. Savall the Explorer Returned. Spiteful Visions. Fevered Visions. All those kind of things. But they also punish. So I call this deck Group Shrug because it kind of does both. And I'm not really trying to alienate with any one aspect, whether it be Slug or Hug. I just kind of want to do both and get the game to get going so people can do what they want to do. This deck is like the epitome of you get to play Magic, and we're going to play Magic. One of the main problems with the deck, of course, is it being 5 color, and you need to have all these different pips. So in those regards, we do have Evolving Wilds, Command Tower, Ash Barrens, Fabled Passage, we do have a Gateway Plaza, and I believe a Rupture Spire somewhere, and then a number of different fixing things. We have a number of 3-drop Mana Dorks, because there's almost no 2-drop ones that produce any color in gold. We also have the only non-gold card in the deck with Chromatic Lantern. Besides that, we also have the full cycle of basic land cycling stuff that came out in one of the commander sets. I really wish they do an enemy pairing of this. Was kind of hoping to see it in the Strixhaven commander decks, but we didn't. And that's a little bit too bad. The only one I really don't like out of the entire cycle is the white-blue one, which is Migratory Route. It just gives you birds. But even that can come in handy. Okay, that's it for the deck. If you want to check out the deck list, it'll be linked below. This is not going to be a typical series because this is more of a filler and it's more of my own personal deck. I rather enjoy playing this deck a lot. It's been with me for a couple of years now, and I do own it in paper. Speaking of paper, if you want to purchase any of the cards you see here or in this video, sealed product or gaming accessories to protect all of that glory, please consider using the TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. It helps you out and doesn't cost you anything extra. Alright, after this, going to do some more Niv-Mizzet as well, but that will come later. Next, we are on to our last Modern Horizons 2 Commander. Stay tuned, stay safe, and I'll see you then.